All right. All right. We are live. Hello and welcome to the Business Octopus live stream. I'm Avon Collis, CRM and Marketing Automation Specialist at Relevate. And today we're talking about how to sell with video. I think a lot of times people, like if you're doing sales, particularly if you've got a very complex thing to sell, you spend a lot of time explaining what you do or the value of your product or service. And that really takes a lot of time. I mean, like it could take two, three, four, five, hour-long conversations to get someone over the line. And that's really not efficient. So in this live stream, we do a live stream every week, every Friday morning at about 8:30. I've got a couple booked in, or a retired lieutenant colonel booked in for 2 weeks from now, talking about leadership. We do some podcast interviews and also these talking head videos with just myself. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about selling with video and how to be more efficient in the process, how to basically extend yourself. The idea of the business octopus is to give your business a brain and teach it to grow itself. And if you're the person doing every step in the process, it's very slow, it's not very scalable. So we want to make it something that you can basically grow with. All right. So let me just get rid of this banner. Okay. So I guess that if you're going to do some sales processes, typically people need to understand the value. Like for us, it's CRM. So providing CRM services. A lot of people don't really understand or grasp the concept of CRM. So sometimes there's quite a learning journey that we need to take people on to get them to basically buy or understand the value of CRM, then understand which CRM would suit their needs, then actually take action on implementing the system. So CRM, if you don't know, is a customer relationship management software. And in fact, I've got heaps of YouTube videos and content on the value of having that system in place because it helps you to communicate about the customer situation and who they are, where they're from, what they're likely to buy, how they like to interact with your brand. And if you don't have that, then you are the sole person in the business and no one can do the business but you. It reduces, like if you don't have one, it reduces the resale value, it reduces your ability to communicate with your team. You're constantly on the phone to your staff and your customers, which is okay to an extent, but it doesn't really allow scalability. So I'd say once you get above 5 staff, you'll start to understand the communication networks involved. And then once you get above 10, 20, you just cannot survive without a decent system. So I want to talk about a recent experience I had where I went to a customer site and I had to explain what we do. And I think we're in the fortunate position where they kind of understood already what we did and why we did it, like what we sold, what service we provided, what value we brought, and the solutions that we recommend. They've already reviewed that, and they're looking for a partner, as in a partner to help implement. So someone with experience. Now, we also need to build trust in that time and reassure them that we know what they're talking about, that we've dealt with similar things, and that we can help them, deliver the result that they're looking to achieve in a timely, efficient, and effective manner. So the thing that really helped was that we built a relationship in advance. So before I even walked in the room, I had established a connection. And when I did walk into the room, I was almost met like a rock star. Like normally when you go for a sales presentation, you go in, you just trying to start meeting everybody, figuring out who is the right person to talk to, trying to establish rapport. Might be a little bit awkward. You walk in and then, you don't know where to sit. You're trying to look professional. And it can be quite a challenge. But it's completely different if you walk in as though you're already known, even if you don't know them. Having videos setting in advance allows you to have that kind of relationship, at least in their mind. So when I went into this particular uh, location, I actually brought some coffee as well, which is our Relevate coffee. Um, and so I came with a gift. So it was like greeting a friend rather than having a random sales or business development manager walk in. So basically, walking into their organization, and a few days before, I sent an email with a link, a YouTube playlist full of videos, which help demonstrate the value that we bring, introduce ourselves, and so on. Now, the video, the videos themselves are not perfect. The video playlist is not structured in the world's most amazing, beautiful way. But what we did was like lots of bite-sized education pieces. And then by the time we walked in, almost everybody had watched all of the videos. I think it's all up about hour and a half, maybe 2 hours worth of content. And they pretty much understood what we did, who we were, the values that we had, and they saw alignment. So when I walked in the door, they felt as though they knew me, like we'd met before. I had no idea who these people were. So using video can be incredibly powerful. Now, there's other little bits and pieces where you might send a couple of videos, but then you kind of allow someone to discover other parts of you. So they might watch one video, but then click onto another one, and find other parts of your brand, other perspectives of you. And I think, as you'll see, like in this, I'm not perfectly polished. I don't have, filters and I don't necessarily have the fanciest background. I do have a fancy camera, as in a DSLR, and a microphone, but you don't need all the gear to establish some level of connection on a human level. All right, so I want to share my screen briefly. So this is our YouTube channel. Might make it a little bit larger. So on here, now we've had a bit of success with video in the last little while, quite massive success. We grew 1,500 subscribers, so 1,338 in the last 28 days. So we've pretty much more than doubled, and now our reach is significant. But if I come over here to content, and then I go over to playlists, I was able over time. So if I go back to videos, you can see I've got some videos here. So I made 6 figures on YouTube without being monetized, which is kind of what we're talking about now, in that I was able to use the video to send it to customers in advance, have conversations, close consulting deals, and it happened much faster because I used video. But you can see here, like, we're a Zoho consultancy, and you can see we've got Zoho CRM, and like I've stitched all these, how to disable MFA in Zoho. We've stitched all these into a playlist. So go over to the playlist. Most of those videos are because we've answered a question. Someone's asked us, how do I do this in Zoho? And so instead of answering one off, I make a video. So here we've got 39 videos in this playlist. And if we go to details, the playlist has its own description. If we go back, go into the playlist again, go, I should be able to view this, although that won't happen as easily. Maybe we'll just click into it. Videos. Okay, so yeah, we can see the list of videos that are in here, and there's one here that got like 22,000 views. But then people bounce in all along to all the other videos. Like this one got like 627. So not everyone's going to view everything, but over time, people end up building they bounce around one video, next video, next video, next video. And even if they only watch like a couple of minutes, they know who you are. They know how you think, how you speak. They feel some level of connection, and they can basically build a relationship with you before you even walked into the room. And then when you do walk into the room, you can you're operating on a basis of trust. So using video to sell is incredibly powerful because in that moment, you don't, like when you're producing a video, you get the chance to edit it, you get the chance to make it more specific. If you were to go and walk into a meeting or a sales presentation, you could have an off day. You might be tired. You might not think of the right words to say. You might be intimidated by someone or something in the room. Maybe the lighting hits you in the eye or the presentation didn't work. And so can be a stressful time. But if you have done the pre-work, as in you create either a video or a video playlist that paints you in a really good light, you can send that to the customer. And then hopefully if they watch it, then you can walk in and they already have that connection with you. They already feel like they know you. And as I mentioned earlier, that I sent this playlist, they were a fairly large client, and it turned out that actually passed that link around the office, and about 10 or 20 people in the office had actually watched at least one video. Some of them watched all of it. They binge watch it. I watch my hours go up, my watch hours on YouTube. But I was able to see that when I walked in the door, they greeted me like a rock star. Yes, I brought a gift, part of doing business development. But when walking in the door, changing that framing now, even if I have a problem with the laptop, even if the lighting hits me in the eye, even if there's someone in the room that is intimidating or I didn't have a very good sleep, I've already come with a preconception. And I do have some videos that are very high edit. I did say at the start that you didn't have to have the world's most amazing videos. But I have invested in doing high production. I've got the suit. I've gone to the trouble of shaving everything. I've done my hair. I've done all of the things that I need. I've got excellent lighting. In fact, speaking of lighting, I didn't have everything turned on, but here we go. So I'd gone to all that trouble, and there was a couple of those videos, but then, videos like this where I'm not perfect. I don't have the best lighting. It's a little bit hot in here, so you might see a little bit of sweat on the brow. But basically, people want to see real people. They want to talk to a tangible person, and you don't want to be this glossy figure that is sort of inaccessible or unreachable. So having videos that you might have shot on your phone, just yourself maybe not in the car park. I mean, you've got to do a little bit better than just maybe the lens is a little bit foggy. You can polish that off. Maybe the lighting is bad. You can go and stand outside. Think about your backdrop. I've put a plant on this side and a little room divider thing, and I've got some books. I have had people comment on the books as well. Yes, they do make you look smart. Sometimes YouTubers have worn glasses to make themselves look smart. I'm not saying stage yourself to the nth degree, but you don't need to be absolutely perfect, and definitely don't look like a whole scrappy mess, like a homeless bum. Right? You need to make sure that you look real, as raw as you come every day. Because if you walk into a business room and you're into a sales meeting, and they've got this high gloss image of you, and then you walk in the door, and then you look as scrappy as I do now. I don't think I'm too bad in the sense that this is probably more my everyday, but there's an expectation management. If you have a couple of high gloss videos and people get that, and then they see you in your everyday in most of the videos, and then you walk in you in your everyday, that's fine. People are expecting that. There's this thing called expectancy theory, where if people expect to get that and then they get this, they're disappointed. So if they're expecting to get low and they get high, amazing. So using these sorts of psychology components, and I guess it's marketing elements from branding, personal branding, that sort of thing, that if you create video, and it does not have to be amazing, and you can do most of the editing on your phone. I know I've got equipment here. I've got StreamYard. I'll put a link to that in the comments. I use a DSLR, which is a secondhand one, but you could use a phone. I do have a standard, I guess, webcam sitting there as well. Your sound, I do have a mic. I've not gone and made a whole lot of adjustments. I've just done little things over time. It probably took me 2 years between getting a half decent webcam, the DSLR, and then the mic. So it's not like I've gone and spent 10 grand on equipment straight up on day one. Someone gifted me the light, so that's all I'm saying is that fall back into it. Don't go all out in the hope that something's going to happen. Base it off action. You know that if you produce 10, 15, 20 videos, that you've got a bit of momentum and you're probably going to keep doing it. So that would justify, all right, I'm going to buy a camera. And then you might go next time, or in a couple of months' time, I'm going to splurge on a microphone. And then you might go, I might get some lighting or something like that. Maybe start with the cheapest item first, go with lighting. Then go with, let's see, the camera was $300, the mic was $200. My mic before this was $80. So anyway, long story short, use video. It is amazing, and it helps shortcut the amount of time that you need to take to build a relationship, build up rapport with your end customer. Okay, so it's a nice short sharp one today. So what I'm going to do is I'll end the live stream shortly, but next week, every Friday, we have a live stream, and we talk about various things. Now, not next week, but the week after, we'll be talking with a retired lieutenant colonel from the US Army. Next Friday, I haven't quite get the topic yet, but I will post it on the socials. So please do give us a like or subscribe. Our primary channel is YouTube. So if you're watching this anywhere else, please go over to YouTube, hit that like button, leave a comment, let us know what you thought. My goal is to give little tips and tricks along the way. I've also got an online community called the Relevate community. So if you go to join.relevate.com.au, it's digital accelerator, bit of networking, and all around business growth and awesomeness. So please do come along, and look forward to seeing you in the chat forums. Now, if you've got any other comments, questions, please do come along next week. I look forward to having you. Otherwise, thank you so much for coming, and I will see you next time.